Hi everybody, welcome back. My name's Nicholas. I am so excited for today's video because fall has finally hit my garden. It is a high of 63 degrees today and it is perfect. It's the perfect day to be in the garden and I can't wait to get to it. Today we're going to be doing a perfect fall project, and that's transplanting. You can really transplant whenever, where I do, but spring and fall are really good times to transplant because the soil stays wet longer, it's cooler, there's less stress on the plants. So that's why it's suggested. You should be doing it a certain time before your first frost, just because they say that your plant needs to kind of root in a little bit before winter. But I just do it whenever. But I wanted to be a good garden YouTuber and show you guys like what we're supposed to be doing, when we're supposed to be doing it. So I don't know if you remember, but a few videos ago I cleaned up the back patio and I had these huge pots that had sedum in it, and I transplanted the sedum in that video, but I had cut the sedum back, so I have a bunch of the sedum stalks. So I'm actually going to show you guys what you can do with those today. And there's a couple other plants. I think I have two grasses on next to the greenhouse that I would like to dig up and put somewhere else that is more full sun. There's probably some other things that I'll get into, plants that I want to move around, because I do that a lot in my garden. I shuffle plants a lot. It's just a thing I do. And I also would like to pot up the lemon cypress that is on the back patio. It's in, I would say, like a 6 to 8 inch container, but it needs to be in a much bigger container. So we're going to do that today too, and who knows what else we're going to get into. But let's just show you the sedum stalks I have, show you where we're going to be focusing on, and get right to it. We'll have to grab our tools, and once I do that, I'll tell you everything that I have to do the video today. This is my little bucket of sedum stalks. So as you can see, I cut the stalk, and honestly what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a handful of these and put them in the ground, and then a plant should come back in its place, because these are notoriously good at rooting in. I mean, you could honestly use a leaf to root them in sometimes, like to propagate. That's another word they like to use. But I'm going to be just grabbing a bunch of these and putting them in the ground. This is the area I would like to just pack out with sedum, because this tree, this huge maple tree right here, it's quite large. I would love to have things around here, but it's very hard to plant because of the roots of the tree. So if I can just dig little holes to put the sedum, it will grow much better, and it'll be easier to plant in here than to use a big root ball. But the other day, the 2 sedum plants that I transplanted ended up one here and one right there. So we're just going to fill this area in. And this is the lemon cypress that needs potted up. Again, I think this is probably an 8 inch container, but it just needs to be put in a bigger one. And we will overwinter this in the greenhouse because it's not hardy in my area. Maybe we could also find a spot for this rose. This is a Claire Austin rose that I took away from the trellis arbor right in front of the greenhouse. And I put Kinsley's Ghost Honeysuckle in the place of the roses that were there. But this rose needs to find a home. It's a climber, and maybe we could find a place for that today. It has bounced back since I took it out of the ground, and it's actually put on a lot of growth since I put it out of the ground. And it's budded up and looking beautiful. So it would be really nice to find a spot for this today. And in this mess next to the greenhouse, there is a grass right here. It's a lemon squeeze, Sedum. And then next to the hibiscus right there is another one too. So I would like to pull these out because they obviously do not get enough sun right here. And I want to see them grow. They're beautiful when they're given the proper sunlight. So let's start with those and see where we go from there. And we also need to grab the tools. I know what else we can do. A couple weeks back, my mom and I were at the garden center and she got me some of these leucogem bulbs. They're also called giant snowdrops. They are just very pretty, and I don't currently have any of these in my garden, although I've been wanting them for ever. They say they bloom in late spring, full sun to part shade, deer resistant, winter hardy, height 14 to 16 inches tall, and zones 4 through 10. And that's it. You plant them 5 inches deep. I have 24 bulbs, and I don't know. We'll see if I want to spread them out or if I want to just do one big area. Either way, these are going to be very pretty. And I also have some bulb tone. Although if I didn't have this, I would use I would probably use biotone or plant tone. I actually don't have, or rose tone. I don't have biotone right now, but I do have rose tone, plant tone, and bulb tone. So any of those would work. Here's what's in the back of my wagon. I have a shrub rake, just in case. You never know when you might need it. My favorite shovel. This is like a shorter shovel with a handle like this. I don't know. I just really like them better than like a tall shovel. I have my 60 volt DeWalt drill I have 2 different auger attachments in here. Both of these are the Garden Answer varieties that they have. They have a smaller flighting, which is the spiral part on the auger. This is the 3-inch one, and this is the 5-inch one. I use the 5-inch a lot. I would like to get the other ones. There's like a 7 and a 9-inch, but these do me good for now. I also have a 2-inch. But the only time I really use that is when I'm planting like smaller bulbs. Again, I have my fertilizers that we talked about, which we will not be using for the sedum. And I have some soil for the potting up project. And I have my kneeling pad. So let's go do the sedum first. Then we'll do the bulbs. And then we will start transplanting. I know for sure I want to do the 2 grasses. And we'll see what we can get into after that. I meant to tell you I also have some pruners too. So what I'm actually going to do is grab a handful of these, cut them to one length, and then just plant them. They don't have to go down a certain depth. They'll root in somewhere along the stem that you put into the ground. Some of them might not take. In fact, maybe most might not take, but some of them will. But why not try at least? first job's done. Sedum is in. There were still like a lot of like little off cuts, but I think I've made the most out of what I have, and hopefully some comes back. I watered them in not because they need water, but because I wanted to settle the soil around them so that they, you know, were more sturdy. So let me show you these, and then I think we're gonna put the bulbs in a similar location to where we are right now. So now you can see this whole area is filled with sedum, and I believe this is the autumn fire sedum. I should have said that in the beginning. So they can get relatively large, but that would look so cool if the whole area around this tree was sedum. I already have some growing right there that I dug from other parts of the garden, and it did well. It did well this year. That's why I had the idea to kind of fill up this whole space with it, because that would be so pretty. We were just over there, and I was thinking that we could put the bulbs right here. I mean, I would like to put a lot of things here, but it would be really pretty in the spring if this had a bunch of little white flowers. So I think that's what we're gonna do. I went and grabbed the 2-inch auger because the hole does not need to be that wide for these bulbs. They're pretty small. So we just need to drill 24 holes according to the tag. I didn't actually count the bulbs, but hopefully there's 24. Hopefully there's more. A lot of bulbs look the same, but this one particularly, you can see the roots on the bottom right there. So usually the pointy side goes up and then the root side goes down. I know tulips, they have a more, so they'll kind of look like that, where there's not this hook on the top. It's like very pointed. And that is a sign that, like the telltale sign that it goes pointy side up, roots down. Some people water their bulbs in and some people do not. The reason I like to is because it helps compact the soil so that it, from my experience, seems like it makes it harder for squirrels to get down in the hole that I just dug. If I didn't have such bad squirrel activity, I probably wouldn't water them in, but you got to do what you got to do. I need to go grab a pot, like a terracotta pot or something, so that we can pot up the lemon cypress. I think I have one back here. I think so. Yep, right here. Although, I don't know. Maybe this one's too big. Let's keep looking. We'll just use it. It'll give it room to grow in there. Could last a little longer than a couple months. Let's see what this looks like. I mean, it's not like root bound, but it could definitely use a up potting. The pot's a little bit big for the cypress, but like I said, it'll grow. And well, now we just have to find a spot in the greenhouse for this winter. But for now, it's good right where it's at. This is a big change for me. I have been outside for, let's just say like 2 hours, and I'm not hot yet. That's so weird and so refreshing. So let's go grab those grasses next to the greenhouse and maybe like see if there's anything else that needs taken out. And I have an idea, I think, where I want the grasses to go. I didn't find anything else, but we have these two grasses and we have this rose as well. So that should give us something else to do. Here's kind of where I was thinking for the rose and the grasses. I have a rose and some clematis on this like kind of fence panel area. And I think I want to add the rose. So yeah, on this side of the panel, I have a Bathsheba climbing rose, which looks like that. I mean, how beautiful is that? But it does really well here. If the bugs and stuff would stop eating my roses so much. Look at that. Oh well, it'll look good next year, but I need to train it so that it starts rambling across the top here. Right here, I have two different clematis plants. One is like Viva Polonia or something, and then I believe the other one is Duchess of Edinburgh. And I know that they like to have shady feet and then like a sunny head or sunny top. And it has kind of struggled, but this year, this hydrangea that I put right here, I want to say this is a Firelight Tidbit or something of that yolk. Anyway, as it grows, it's starting to shade the feet of this, well, the two clematis plants right here, because I wanted to like have them grow up and then break off and split. And then over here I have another clematis that I'm drawing a blank on, so I will try to find the name and put it on the screen. But what I kind of want to do is right next to, honestly, the root ball of the clematis is put the rose, and then I'll have a rose on this side and a rose on that side, and then clematis plants like interspersed between them. So I think that that's what I'm going to do. I wanted to start with doing the rose first because, as you can see, this bed is hard to maneuver in. And I was thinking, because this is directly in the center, I was like, do I need to move this over and then put the root ball next to it? I'm not even going to be doing all of that. I think that once I put it right here, visually they can just grow up together, and I don't think it's going to look too off center. And if these clematis plants don't end up doing well soon, I might try something different. Maybe like Kinsley's Ghost Honeysuckle, or maybe like another honeysuckle of some kind. But hopefully they do well, push through and do well. And then as we turn this way, this is one of the new beds that I created this year. As you can see, there's weeds galore, but we're gonna look past that today. And I did a hedge, well, kind of a loose hedge of Nepeta. And then I have a Desert Plains Sedum down there. And I was thinking I could just put the 2 lemon squeezes in here. And I think that that would be just fine. So that's our next job. I'm trying to think of all the colors of vining plants I have on this section. There's the peachy colored rose. The Duchess of Edinburgh is white. The Viva Polonia, or whatever it's called, I don't even know if that's what it's called, but that's what's in my head. It's pink. And then the other one, I really don't know, but it doesn't matter, because white, the white of the Claire Austin, which is, it's a climbing rose, will match with whatever. And could you imagine just this whole like area of vining plants with all different colors, and they're all mingling together, and that's what my goal is, and I think that that's going to be pretty. Maybe I should actually get some more of these trellises and do 1, 2, and then I could do more. Ooh, yeah. That sounds cool. Anyway, let's get to it. Well, I forgot to turn on my camera for the digging of the holes and the adding of the biotone, but you've seen me do it already in this video, so it's no different. But I think that these, well, I know that these are going to do way better here than they did out by the greenhouse, and I just think that they're going to look really cool. When this grass is like fully grown and in its like prime, is probably one of my favorite looking grasses that there is. The lemon squeeze has just like this really light green blade, and then you're not seeing it now because it was in the shade, but the plumes on these are the contrast between the light green and the, I think it's like a brownish burgundy-ish plume is like amazing. Having this like trio of grasses right here, I think is going to be really cool looking. Now, had I known that I was going to be moving these, I probably would have done the lemon squeeze and then the Desert Plains Sedum, and then the lemon squeeze again. Yeah, we'll see. If it bugs me next year, I will transplant the flip a couple, but for right now, I don't know that I'm gonna care. So might as well just see what it's gonna look like. So now with this bed, we have a grass, a grass, a grass. There will be irises behind them, so it might be too much grassy texture or structure, but we will see. Only time will tell. But if I don't like it, I'll just move it. But I think I'll like it. I think it's gonna look good. And then I need to move a bunch of stuff back there, but in the like back layer, a lot of stuff needs moved. And then as far as this rose goes, I feel like right now it looks kind of silly, but I think that it will end up looking fine once things fill in. It's looking heavy on this side because the foliage or the clematis has defoliated, but once they're all growing and looking full and great and good, I think it's gonna look magnificent. But that's actually going to be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I sure enjoyed filming it. It's yeah, sometimes filming, especially when it's really hot, I still love it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. I love doing what I'm doing. But it's much more pleasant when it's cooler outside, and I feel like I could just keep going. That's kind of what I've been missing this summer is I would get one job done, and a lot of the times if it's not so hot, I would move on to another job and just keep going until, you know, I fell down. But I wasn't able to do that just because it was just kind of a little bit miserable as far as the like humidity and heat went. But now it's like I feel like I could just go. And I love that. And I think that the things that we did today are going to look really good next year. I'm excited to see if any of the sedum takes. I mean, it's worth a shot. I didn't lose anything by doing it. And the placements of the things that we transplanted, I think are going to look really great next year. Only time will tell. I mean, I might want to change it. But I think the thing that I'm maybe most excited about is the bulbs. I've been wanting the leucogems for a while, many years, and hopefully they come back, you know, or like grow next year, and hopefully I get to get a lot more. And I want to do a lot more bulb planting soon because I really would like to up my bulb game for next year. And I don't know. I'm really excited how things are turning out in the garden. This year has been such a great year for my garden. But anyway, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. At the end of my videos, I put pictures from the projects that I did in that video, but nothing is like particularly pretty. So I'll probably just take some pretty pictures of the garden, and I hope you guys enjoy them. So I will see you very soon. Keep learning and keep growing.